Hello, girls and boys, teachers, parents, and families. It's Mr. Plattis with another Read Aloud. Today, our story is another adventure from our two friends, Frog and Toad. Don't forget to keep watching after the book for a fun art activity that you can do at home with your grown-ups.
The Garden, a Frog and Toad story by Arnold Lobel. Frog was in his garden. Toad came walking by. "What a fine garden you have, Frog," he said. "Yes," said Frog, "it is very nice, but it was hard work." "I wish I had a garden," said Toad. "Here are some flower seeds. Plant them in the ground," said Frog, "and soon you will have a garden." "How soon?" asked Toad. "Quite soon," said Frog. Toad ran home. He planted the flower seeds. "Now, seeds," said Toad, "start growing." Toad walked up and down a few times. The seeds did not start to grow. Toad put his head close to the ground and said loudly, "Now, seeds, start growing!" Toad looked at the ground again. The seeds did not start to grow. Toad put his head very close to the ground and shouted, "Now, seeds, start growing!" Frog came running up the path. "What is all this noise?" he asked. "My seeds will not grow," said Toad. "You are shouting too much," said Frog. "These poor seeds are afraid to grow." "My seeds are afraid to grow?" asked Toad. "Of course," said Frog. "Leave them alone for a few days. Let the sun shine on them. Let the rain fall on them. Soon your seeds will start to grow." That night, Toad looked out of his window. "Drat!" said Toad. "My seeds have not started to grow. They must be afraid of the dark." Toad went out to his garden with some candles. "I will read the seeds a story," said Toad. "Then they will not be afraid." Toad read a long story to his seeds. All the next day, Toad sang songs to his seeds.
In the rain, just waiting for you to grow. What a lonely feeling. Please, seeds, start to grow.
And all the next day, Toad read poems to his seeds.
Violets are blue, but I do not know because I cannot see you. Please start to grow.
And all the next day, Toad played music for his seeds. Toad looked at the ground. The seeds still did not start to grow. "What shall I do?" cried Toad. "These must be the most frightened seeds in the whole world." Then Toad felt very tired, and he fell asleep. "Toad, Toad, wake up!" said Frog. "Look at your garden!" Toad looked at his garden. Little green plants were coming up out of the ground. "At last!" shouted Toad. "My seeds have stopped being afraid to grow!" "And now you will have a nice garden too," said Frog.
Yes,
said Toad.
but you were right, Frog. It was very hard work.
I hope that you enjoyed listening to that story as much as I enjoyed reading it to you. I thought it would be a fun idea for us today to make a little garden of our very own, with just a few art supplies that you probably already have at home.
To make your garden, you will need 3 pieces of paper, 1 for the background, 1 for your flowers, and 1 for the grass and flower stem, tape or glue, scissors, a writing tool, and some crayons. First, take your green paper and draw a squiggly line that will become your grass. Then, using your scissors, carefully cut on the line. Now, using tape or glue, put your grass on the bottom of the background. After, cut little strips of green to become the flower stem. You can cut as many as you'd like. I'm going to cut 2 long stems and then cut them again in half to make 4 shorter stems for my flowers. When you're finished making your stems, you can tape or glue them into your garden. Next, use your writing tool to draw an oval on the paper that will become your flower. Each oval makes 2 flowers, so draw as many as you need for your garden. Once you've finished drawing your ovals, you can draw zigzag lines in the middle. After, use scissors to carefully cut out each oval and then cut along the zigzagged lines. Your flowers are looking great! Use tape or glue to place them on top of the flower stems. Your garden is almost done. Now, you can use crayons to add in some details to your garden. I'm going to draw some clouds, the sun, and some green grass. Nice work! Now, your garden is all finished.
Your garden can have 4 flowers like mine. It can have 1 big flower in the middle, or you may choose to decorate your garden with many more flowers. It's really up to you. Either way, when you're all done, ask your grown-ups to take a picture and send it to your teachers. We love to see what you're doing at home. I just had a really nice idea. You could even write a special message on the bottom and give it to someone as a gift. Like, I know my mom would probably really like this picture of the garden, so I might write her a special message and give it to her on a day that celebrates moms. Have a great day, everybody!